I've been working on a pumpkin spice latte that doesn't actually call for like pumpkin puree. And so I think I've done it. It's not super strong. That's why I think I like this coffee a lot. The flavor isn't overpowering. You can still most definitely taste the pumpkin spice flavor, but it's nice and light. So if you're not a huge fan of the strong, spicy taste, this is perfect. And you can adjust the flavoring. You know, if you are a big fan, you can add more. If you're not, if you're like me and you're not a huge fan of pumpkin spice latte, you can do this and you can add just a little bit and you will get that flavor without it being too much. It'll just kind of taste like fall. The ingredients, I'll go ahead and go over those. What you're gonna need is obviously coffee. And so I have 10 ounces of strong coffee. So I used dark roast. I think that you want a little bit, if you want to be able to really taste your coffee and not let it be too overpowering, do some dark roast. The other thing you're going to need is pumpkin pie spice blend extract. So I got it in the McCormick's, and it's strong, so make sure you don't put too much. So you're going to need that. You're going to need some cinnamon. I like to add a pinch of salt because I am going to be sweetening my coffee. I'm going to be adding sweetener to it, so I like a little pinch of salt. I think it just helps with all the flavors. It helps kind of bring them all out. Some form of sweetener. I'm just going to use the Equal Naturals. And the sweetener, you know, is just based on how sweet you like your coffee, and we are going to be making a flavored whipped topping to go on it. So you'll want to sweeten that. And then other than that, obviously just heavy whipping cream for the coffee and for the whipped topping. So 10 ounces of hot, strong coffee. And what we're gonna do is we're just going to, I always add cream to my, heavy whipping cream to my coffee. So I'm going to pour what I think will be enough in there. And that, you know, normally I would just pour it straight into the coffee if I was just going to drink it, you know, just regular. But I'm gonna do it in here so that I can mix up the different ingredients. So I'm gonna add like a little bit of cinnamon, a pinch of salt, a very, very small amount of the pumpkin pie spice extract, and 2 sweeteners to my coffee. And this is just based off of how I take my coffee in general. I would just do heavy whipping cream, 2 sweeteners into my coffee, done. So we're going to mix these ingredients up before we pour it into the coffee. That way it will stay nice and blended. You won't have a lot of bits floating around in the coffee. So a little, just a small shake of cinnamon. And as far as the pumpkin spice goes, I'm going to measure it this time, but I think I'm going to literally do 1/8 of a teaspoon. Last time I just sort of eyeballed it and just did beep, you know, just a very, very little, but I kind of want to see how that works. So I think that's going to be perfect. 1/8 of a teaspoon is what I'm using. And this is just for the coffee flavoring. Okay, we did our, so then a pinch of salt, very, very little pinch. And we're just going to kind of, I think I might get my whisk actually. We're going to just give that a little whisk, and we're going to pour that into our coffee. Just because I don't want a lot of cinnamon chunks floating around. And I think that's one of the reasons that I didn't care for pumpkin spice lattes. In the past, I had tried a recipe that actually called for pumpkin puree. And even though you cooked it on the stove, you whisked it, it never got smooth enough. And it was always little bits floating around the coffee. And I just thought that was so nasty. This doesn't even call for pumpkin. So, oops, that's perfect for me. Okay. And stir that in. There we go. And the great thing is, I'm just going to reuse this bowl to make the whipped cream, because I'm basically going to put the exact same ingredients in here to make the whipped topping. And this would actually be perfect for pumpkin pie too. If you wanted to do like a pumpkin spiced whipped cream to go on top, it would be very, very good. So next I'm just going to put my cream in here, and basically, I don't know how much I'm even doing, honestly. So this is really bad, but I'd say, you know, you're just gonna put it on top of your coffee, but you can always make more. There is no shame in just eating whipped cream. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more. I'm opening this new one just because I know as soon as I make this, the kids are also going to want to just eat the whipped cream. So I'm gonna do a little more than I know that I'll need for the coffee. But if it's just for your coffee, you know, just eyeball it, just enough to dollop on there. But I would say I probably have at least 1 cup of whipped cream in here because I know my kids and they're gonna wanna eat it. Okay, so some cinnamon. I'm gonna do another 1/8 of a teaspoon of the pumpkin pie. Okay, okay. So we're gonna put our pumpkin pie spice extract in there. And I'm only going to do a teaspoon. This is 2 teaspoons worth, 1 packet of sweetener, because I already have the sweetener in the coffee. I don't want it to be too sweet. And a little pinch of the salt. And we're just going to blend it up. I have a little handheld blender, which makes making quick whipped cream super easy. So we just want to get that until it's nice and blended and nice and thick. Perfect. That is perfect. It tastes like pumpkin pie. Okay, so we have our coffee all done. We're gonna add our dollop of whipped cream right on top. Well, a little bit more than a dollop, but that's gonna be perfect. And that's it. And that's what it looks like. It's perfect. I love that the flavor isn't too overpowering. I can still taste the coffee. I know I'm drinking coffee. It doesn't taste too desserty. It's just like a perfect fall drink. So I hope that you'll give this recipe a try. And if you do, please let me know in the comments down below. Whether you like pumpkin spice latte or not, I'm not a huge fan. I love this drink. It just tastes like fall in a cup to me. So I'm super happy I found a recipe. If I'm craving something that's super fallish, this would be a great drink to just know and have the ingredients on hand. I mean, we're gonna have pumpkin pie season for a while longer. We're going into November and Thanksgiving. You should definitely go pick up some of this pumpkin pie spice extract because it's excellent. I am going to be using this a lot, I have a feeling. And so yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy this. I also am going to be filming for you guys a kids-friendly horror movies video, and I'm super excited. My daughter's going to be joining me in that video so that we can get her opinion on scary movies and what she likes. So I hope that you will give this drink give it a try. Give it a try. Let me know if you do. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I have quite a few more fall Halloween videos coming your way. It's almost time. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Click that bell so that you'll be notified for future videos, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.